Hello, I hope somebody is listening. This is a distress call from university. I am no longer staring at that taunting flashing light anymore, old sport. I'm back at my old place. I know now what I needed to know. Well, almost. Solus didn't create the sinkholes. Let me explain. As I stared back into those now familiar green and hazel eyes, I found myself having to do something I haven't done in a while in the city. Look tough. It was a little pathetic, if I'm honest, old sport. I almost stuttered over my own name when introducing myself. Any confidence I managed to mutter up immediately vanishes as they reveal they use an alias too. I never said radio wasn't my real name. Before I could take in their comment, Solus asked me where I'd heard about them. I hesitated for a second, deciding if it would be safe to discuss Thalia, but my curiosity was fueling me. Fighting through my words, I asked how she knew them. Thalia. Solus, for the first time this whole conversation, averted my gaze. They almost looked nervous. With a great hesitation, Solus defeatedly reveals that Thalia and them were previously in a relationship. I felt myself stiffen up as I didn't know how to react. I chuckled nervously before quickly changing the subject. I could digest that fact later, I thought. Instead, curiosity was exchanged for rage. I was angry for Thalia, I thought. Someone they had trusted intimately was doing these heinous acts in the city, creating these sinkholes to destroy the innocent lives of those who live here. I saw red. I shouted, accusing them of everything I knew about the sinkholes, the security camera footage, the symbol, the possible cult they had, anything I theorized. I let them know I despised. The first breath I take in again is when Solus interrupts. They laugh. They laugh, and then tears are rolling down their face. Still angry, I stared back in silence. I waited for an answer. As they quiet, they admit to me that those are not their doing. Then they ask me if I had ever heard of the agency. I once again freeze at the thought. I muttered a small, hesitant, in agreement. Solus's eyes immediately widen, as if they have realised something themselves. They match my volume, suddenly in worry, saying, "They got her, didn't they?" All I do is nod in response. They began to pace the room, muttering to themselves about warning Thalia, her not listening and knowing she wouldn't listen. Suddenly they pause and look straight back at me. Solus began to tell me that is why they are hiding. The agency. That is why they hack into the cameras, all because of the agency. It is all not to be recruited. Again. Yes, sinkholes. Big, expanding. Not Solus is doing. You knew that. Sorry, yes. Overall, I still don't know how that's all happening. I'm trying my best to figure it out. No help from Solus, though. You think as an innocent you would want to help out, but no. Too busy still thinking about your ex. Yeah, I'm sure. At least she got to be your ex. Sorry, I digress. Yeah. By the way, that whole, election thing is still happening. There's a group of cyborgs running now. I think their party is called Inc. Like, just the letters INC. I don't think they understand that there's usually supposed to be a word or two before incorporation. There are more posters and more people wearing badges in support of the cyborgs than the government, or the agency for that matter. Despite that, the current government has been projected to win by 95%. To me, there really is no point in it all. We know the government controls the vote entirely, and this is the city. Since when has anything been fair here? What else is there to say? The city has been its normal chaotic self, old sport, just with a few more holes on it. What? Sorry, old sport, something just came up. What is this? Radio, same place, 15:08 tomorrow. So loose. How do they know where never mind. Sorry again, old sport. I've been saying that a lot today, I know. There's just too much going on recently. And now this. I need to take a break. Perhaps not a long one, but a break. That is, if the stars are on my side. In the back of my mind, I thought that any letter I received could have been a reply from you, February. I suppose in a way I never gave up hope. There was a part of me who thought that even if you couldn't hear my cries, you still remembered me. You could still reach out if you wanted to, but I suppose not. I can't stop thinking about the last moments we spent together, February. Do you remember? We talked and talked, but at the same time we said nothing at all. The words lingered in the air, dancing around the topic of goodbye, but we never actually said it, did we? You could feel time slipping out of her grasp, but none of us spoke a word of it. If only I knew. If I knew, February, I would have held you tighter. I would have told you so much more. I would have said goodbye. So why didn't you? You asked me this one question, February, and you knew I couldn't answer it. I thought that if I talked about it, it would make it real. I didn't want it to be. I never did. But you knew that. I could feel the weight of the question suffocating me in every word I spoke thereafter. I knew it was a test I was destined to fail. I didn't care. I knew there wasn't anything left I could have said to have made you stay. And now that I look back, it was inevitable. I don't blame you for asking the question, but you were looking for an answer that I could have never honestly have given you. I hated that. I hated that while I was holding on to our final moment together, you began to unravel it. We had so little time left. All I was trying to do was hold on to it, but you had suddenly torn it from my grasp. I could have held you tighter. I could have told you so much more. I could have said goodbye. But the moment was over. And now you're gone. Nevertheless, time moves on. Even when we're worlds apart now. I never knew how to say it before, so I will say it now. Goodbye, February.